name is Holly Herndon, and I'm a composer based in Berlin, Germany. I just released the album Proto on 4AD, where I'm experimenting with voices, polyphony, and artificial intelligence. So I decided to put together a vocal ensemble because I was really missing this kind of in-space shared musicking experience. So I tour a lot of electronic music festivals, and there's kind of this trend towards things becoming fully automated. So the lights and the visuals have kind of taken on a performance role in a lot of ways. I started to see a trend where everything was kind of going in that direction, and so I really missed, or was kind of asking, what's the role of the human body and the human performer in this kind of highly mediated landscape? Spawn is our AI baby, and when I say that, it's basically a metaphor for the experiments that we've been doing with music using neural networks. One of the reasons why we chose a child or baby metaphor when talking about Spawn is that we really see it as kind of nascent, baby-like technology. So it's at such an early stage that we're trying to imagine, what if this community, what if our approach to raising her could really kind of have some sort of impact on how she grows up. So there are a couple reasons why we decided to create our own data sets. I mean, at the end of the day, artificial intelligence is just us. That's kind of the dirty secret of AI, is that you have this vast amount of human intelligence that goes into the training sets. And so we really wanted to take an approach where we would make audible and name and give attribution to those who went into training Spawn. So working with Spawn required insane file management. Not only did we have the vast amount of files for the training sets themselves, but we also had Spawn's responses. So we found using Dropbox really useful for sharing her responses in real time, so we could, change our approach to various data input and kind of, sift through and find the best bits. To make a voice model, it required me performing various sung phrases as well as spoken phrases. And so it was really useful to have as much material from my voice as possible so that Spawn could create as accurate as possible a model of my specific voice. And this is something that I've kind of been dreaming of for a long time. I mean, since the early days of my work with movement, I've been processing the digital voice. So trying to find a way to expand past the limitations of my physical body. So after we've trained Spawn on a canon of audio material, she actually provides us with audio material in response. And so when we first heard some of this material, we were really surprised at how low fidelity that it sounded. And so you kind of have to use your imagination, but if you compare that with some of the earliest recordings of sound that we have, you can really imagine how we might make kind of like leaps and bounds in progress in the future with the voice model and with some of the other experiments that we did. They might be really high fidelity in the future, but right now we have this kind of like raspy textural sound. Hello, world. How are you?
How are you?
So right now we're training Spawn so that she will be able to join us on stage. We're trying to create this kind of real-time system so that she can go on tour with us. But because that's not quite ready yet, we've been trying to bring a piece of the tour back home to Spawn. So what we've been doing is at each concert, we lead the crowd through a kind of call and response. So various ensemble members will start with like a call and response kind of song. They'll sing a phrase and then the audience will respond, and we're able to capture that, record it, and then create a training set out of that. And then bring that home and create a unique voice model for each audience that we visited. In the context of AI, as we were designing the Proto live show, we really wanted to focus on the human performers at the center of the show. So while we're working with projections and lighting as scenography, the focus is on the human performers and the kind of joy and euphoria that they're sharing with the public audience. That's one conclusion that we really came to, is that, computers kind of doing a lot of the heavy lifting for us really allows us to be more human together.